Have you ever been to one of those fun parks where there's a maze that you need to solve? And you go into this labyrinth and it's all walls and secret doors and pathways, and it can be really difficult to solve that kind of puzzle when you're in it. But then you'll find that there are some of these like high towers around it. And when you climb up to the high tower, when you look down, you can kind of make out the pathway. I remember going to one of those a few years ago in Wanaka in New Zealand, and it was so frustrating when I was inside the maze. But then when I climbed up one of the towers, I could see how it all fitted together and how to get out, and it seemed much more simple. So what's that got to do with personal and professional development? Well, your mindset is the one thing that is going to be constantly challenged in your personal and professional development journey. And it's often the thing that sets those who succeed apart from those who don't. You know, there are so many tales of people coming from different or similar backgrounds and getting wildly differing results. So the one thing that matters is how you respond to the challenges and opportunities in front of you. And I'm going to let you into a little secret. The bigger I play, the less I fear failure. That doesn't mean that it's not challenging and sometimes a little bit stressful, but the more I have going on, or the bigger the deals, the bigger the opportunities, the less I sweat the small stuff. Makes sense, right? Failure is easy to fear when you take small steps, but when you take bigger leaps, you're less attached to the outcome. And just when you think you've got it all figured out, another challenge rears its ugly head. It's not surprising though, when you think about when you were starting out in this journey. You know, your development and growth is a constant paradox between staying safe in our primal selves that are programmed to stay safe and keep you surviving at all costs, and the necessity to constantly challenge that programming in order to grow and take the next step. Remember, you are the strategist of your life. You're the legendary leader of your life. Problems and challenges are going to arise. You know, I haven't found a way of stopping that yet. But you can't solve them from within them. Your job is to take that 10,000 foot view of what it is you're trying to achieve from end to end. A bit like climbing the tower in the maze and looking down on it. The more time you can spend in that elevated mindset, the more you can plan ahead and achieve. And it's something that I take all of my private clients through, and also my group clients in my group coaching program. So there's a process of going through setting goals so that you have that benefit of perspective, but also you know what it is that you need to do. And it really circumvents that primal part of you that's going to get in your way every single time, and also keeping you inspired and motivated while you do all of the steps that are going to get you where it is that you really want to go. So if it seems scary, remember, these things don't happen overnight. And, you know, many successful people have spent a lot of time growing and working on their personal development. In fact, the more leaders that I work with, the more they'll say that the higher up the tree they go, the higher up the organization that they climb, or the bigger the challenge that they take on, the more it is mindset work that is the thing that sets them apart. So there are 3 core pillars to becoming the legendary leader of your own life. So here are some tips to help you remember. Number 1, take that 10,000 foot view. It is a great approach to any problem or any strategy. Remember, you cannot solve a problem from inside the problem, and that's going to give you immense clarity. And that's the first pillar, clarity. Secondly, Polish up your communication and leadership skills constantly. That's going to help you to become more and more consistent. And consistency is the second pillar of legendary leadership. The more consistent you can be with people, the more they are drawn to you because they know what to expect and they feel safe around you. And then thirdly, recognize that feeling fearful in most cases isn't life-threatening. So lean into that discomfort and you'll come out the other side stronger, I promise. It takes courage, which is the third pillar, courage, but you will reap the rewards. Remember that in order to have what most do not, you have to be willing to do what most are not prepared to do. So the three pillars of legendary leadership: clarity from that 10,000 foot view, consistency, so get consistent in your communication and how you show up with people, and thirdly, courage is the last pillar. Lean into that discomfort and you will come out all the stronger. I'd love you to leave me a comment or reach out and get in touch and tell me which of the pillars are you strongest in and which do you need the most help in.